Bonsoir everyone, welcome to Chacha's Creepy Show. Tonight we are gonna talk about a weird phenomenon about Paris, the Paris syndrome. What the hell is it? Well, I'm your guide today, so just follow me. The Paris syndrome only concerns Japanese tourists. So if you are not a Japanese person visiting Paris for the first time, you are in safe place. Most of the time, the Paris syndrome happened during a long stay in Paris. Most of the victims are Japanese women between 20 and 40 years old. More precisely, the average is between 20 and 30 years old. And the major victims are young women from Japanese upper class. And this phenomenon affects about 20 Japanese tourists per year. Most of the times, those victims are repatriated to Japan as an emergency health case. However, this syndrome is not listed as an official illness, so to say. This phenomenon was discovered in 1986 by Hiroaki Haute, a Japanese psychiatrist working at the Sainte-Anne Hospital of Paris, the most famous French psychiatric hospital. This doctor had to take care of many Japanese tourists admitted at the emergency room. So why this syndrome and why does it keep on happening every year? Well, the top offenders are the Paris clichés. The movie Amélie Poulain, Marie Antoinette, romanticism itself, they're all guilty. Plus, Japanese media will tend to show only the luxury aspect of the French capital. Those tourists have idolized Paris way too much. They portrayed that city as a wonderful place. Until they come and experience the reality. Paris is not kawaii. The dirt, the grime, the trash on the sidewalks are not cute. Okay? There's a lot of mendicity, Parisian people are rude. People in general in Paris are not as polite, as respectful as the Japanese people whose philosophy is to value the collective over the individual. Paris is the absolute opposite. Not to mention the traffic congestion, the sound of horns. Also, pickpockets are not romantic. But they are deeply in love with Asian tourists especially. Then I doubt Parisians' hotels are as clean as Japanese ones. A little doubt, I don't know why. Let me think about it. And do I really have to mention the cafes in the touristic places? Like the odious waiters and the quality of the food and drinks that doesn't exist. The taxi that haunts the whole city without taking anyone on board. However, I have to admit that since the introduction of Uber in Paris, at least half of the taxi drivers had to convert themselves into decent human beings. I can tell. Uber made taxis great again. Speaking about walking, tourists are often physically exhausted by those long walks in the city. While they can experience the ambient and heavy stress of the Parisian streets. And of course, the language barriers doesn't help. And it can easily provide some feeling of isolation. All of it creates a great culture shock. The difference of manners is too important. The Japanese do not understand the behavior of Parisians. That's normal. So here we can feel the violent disappointment about an idealized Paris. The gap is huge between the picture-perfect city represented in Japanese medias and the real Paris. So at some point the psyche of the patient cannot process the gap between expectations and reality. This generates traumas. The symptoms are varied and more or less severe. It can be tachycardia, dizziness, cold sweats, anxiety, panic attacks, and it can also lead to mental breakdown, psychiatric decompensation, depersonalization, hallucination, paranoia, fit of madness, delusional states. We don't want that. But thankfully, those symptoms do not last long. They tend to disappear in about 24 hours, and there are no lasting damage. But anyway, it can be impressive, of course. Most of the times, the victims lock themselves in their hotel rooms in a state of absolute mental distress. 25 years ago, after a long shopping session in luxury shops around Paris, a Japanese woman broke everything in her hotel room because she felt persecuted by the luxury itself. There is also a Japanese man who lost it, and he was convinced it was the French Sun King Louis XIV. I'm not sure he convinced much people about that. And another victim, a woman, believed she was being attacked by microwaves. That's creepy. Another example I'm not sure about, because I've heard that story maybe 15 years ago. But I just heard it. I cannot find everything about it, so I don't know if it's true or not. So if any one of you find that information somewhere, I will be grateful to know. So I heard that a Japanese woman experiencing the Paris syndrome removed all her clothes before running around naked in front of Notre Dame. I guess it could be true, but like I said, I can't find anything on it. Well, I don't know if you've ever been to Paris, if it's what a great disappointment or not, but as a native Parisian, I totally get it. I know we have bad reputation for sure, but as you can imagine, we are not all rude or impolite. But you have to keep in mind that Parisian people are stressed as hell. And sometimes they don't mean to be mean, but they are. It happened to me once, I confess. I was leaving a work appointment to go home, but I still had work to do at home. I was in a rush, and there was no bus, and I had a flu, and I had to walk quickly to make it work. And on my path, as I was crossing the streets, a compact group of Asian tourists were taking pictures and selfies in the front of the Arc de Triomphe, in the middle of the crosswalk. I found it selfish, rude, annoying, and dangerous, so I passed through the group like a bulldozer, without saying sorry for scrambling. So I know this is rude, but you need to understand both sides. There are people who live and work here, and they experience tourists on their way like they were part of a parallel dimension. It's another world. The kind of world that creates weird syndromes. So I hope you enjoyed this one, a little bit different, I admit, because it's nothing really unexplained about it, but I wanted to share it with you. So, thank you for watching, I'll be back soon, bye!